Hey guys, today I wanted to talk to you on a subject that's probably not going to be the most popular subject out there, but I like to tell the truth about things and I want you guys to know some things. So being a solo operator in lawn care is, in my opinion, is a bad idea. And again, I know this is going to affect a bunch of you guys out there because a lot of you are solo operators. But I'm going to go into some reasons why I think it's a bad idea. And hopefully at the end of this video, you'll understand a little more about where I'm coming from and why I say the things I'm saying, okay? I hope you let it sink in. Let's begin. Your limited growth. Whenever you're a solo operator, you have such limited growth. You can only do what you can do in a given day. So let's say you do 10 jobs today or 20 jobs today, and that's it. That's all you can do. Versus if you had a couple of crews on the road and each crew could do 20 jobs a day. Say you had 5 crews out there, they're doing 100 jobs a day and you're doing 20. So that's the first thing. You limit your growth right out of the gate. You can only take on so much work because once you can't fit any more into your schedule, you have to allow, a day for rain throughout the week usually. And then you hammer yourself with 4 to 5 days of mowing, right? You can only take on X many jobs. Say you can only take on 100 jobs. Well, that's it. Then you're limited. You limited your growth. You can't go anywhere beyond that because you physically can't mow any more than that because there's not enough hours in a day. Second thing, you're limiting your financials. You're limiting the money that's coming in. Now, here's what I mean by that, you guys. When you're out there working and you go out there, and I hate to even put out numbers because they're all over the board with everyone. Whether you make 25 a job, 35 a job, 45 a job, whatever the case may be, you take that times your 20 properties, that's what you make. That's your limitation. You're limiting the amount of money you can make. If you were to scale your business, start growing it so you can scale it and then have several crews on the road, they're going to make you a lot more money. Here's an example that I'll show you, and I had back when I was in lawn care. So when I was in my small town of Antigo, I only had 8,000 people to deal with, and we had one truck on the road. All right, one truck on the road, 2 to 3 guys in that truck. I went down to Florida. We had numerous trucks on the road. We had like 4 and 5 employees in every truck. Sometimes, some days you'd have 3. Depends on who showed up for work, basically. God forbid, you ask anybody to work today. But anyway, it's neither here nor there. But that's where we could scale because we had the population to scale with down there. Makes it very hard in a small town. I've done a video on this. Check it out. You limit your life. You limit your life. When you're mowing grass all the time, you're out there all the time 24/7. If your kids have got birthday parties, they have ball games you should be seeing, all kinds of things. You can't take off to go see those events and be at those events with your family because you're mowing grass all the time. Now, if you had guys that you had in the truck that you could put out on the road, you're scaling your business so you don't have to be there. That's the name of the game. Scale it so you don't have to be there every single day to monitor it. These guys can go out and mow grass and you can go to the ball game with your son, which is the most important thing, okay? Way more important than you out there trying to nickel and dime, make every penny you can scratch off those lawns, okay? All right. You also work yourself to death. And I know this because after 27 years of being a landscaper and a lawn care guy, my back is shot, my knees are shot, neck issues. I mean, it never ends. It's always something, right? And it's hard. It's very hard when you're a solo guy to go out there and try and do everything. I always was the kind of guy that felt I had to be on every job site. I had to learn after a while, I can't be everywhere. I can't be everywhere. At one time I had 3 landscape crews. We were going all over the state of Wisconsin doing commercial work. I was bouncing from city to city to city, living out of motel rooms. I just got tired of that life. I almost lost my family over that. Just working nonstop, almost worked myself to death. For what? How many years of my life did I just lose doing that? Right? And the frustrations and the aggravation that come along with that. And you guys may want to throw something out there in your defense about solo solo, you don't have all the aggravation of employees not showing up and all the problems that come along with other employees. And that's your thing. That's what most guys will say. They will come back to that and say, hey, I don't have to put up with all the headaches. I don't have to put up with them calling in. I don't have to put up with them doing drugs in the truck. I don't have to put up with them drinking in the truck. I don't have to put up with them smashing the equipment. I get that argument. I understand that argument, but it still doesn't make it right. Just listen and let me follow through with the rest of this video. Maybe it'll make sense to you. I think you just got to take it all in. All right, so it's harder for you even to replace equipment. When you're a one-man band and you're out there trying to do it and your mower goes down, if you don't have a backup, you don't have backup equipment, you're screwed. Now you got to go try and buy some. Remember, you have limited funds because you don't have a bunch of guys out there making you money. You're trying to make all the money yourself. There's your mistake. You're trying to make it all yourself. So it's going to be harder for you to replace equipment, okay? All right. When you get older, you're not going to be able to make as much money as you did when you were younger. And I can tell you this because I'm 58 years old now and I can't go like I used to. I used to almost run when I could go with a weed whacker, man, and I was just as fast as you could walk. It was almost a gallop. It is the way I used to do it. And now there's no way I can do that. Now I get tired doing a third of that, you know? So as you get older, I want you guys to remember, you're going to slow down. So if you're doing 20 lawns a day now, you're going to be doing 15 lawns a day at some point. Then you're going to be doing 10 lawns a day. So your income is going to go down, down, and down. Not to mention the fact that all these loyal customers that you guys have and you love so much, they're going to start dropping off, right? They're going to start dying. They're going to move. They're going to do all kinds of these things. You got to go out and you got to keep getting to work. It's a constant hustle, right? I get that. Everybody gets that. But remember, as you get older, things are going to deteriorate and you're going to have some troubles. All right? All right. We talked about it taking a little longer to get the work done too, because it really does. You slow down, man. You slow down. Here's the biggest thing. Here's the biggest argument I have with everybody that wants to stay solo. What happens if you get cancer? Okay? Cancer is so prevalent today. It's out there. It's just, everybody knows somebody who's got cancer, died from cancer, so on and so forth, right? And there's a million other diseases. It's not just cancer, okay? So what happens if you get an illness like that? What happens? What happens to your business? Because you solo guys, if you're sick, you're not going to be on that mower. You're not going to be out there making that money anymore. That means your income just stopped. And it can happen tomorrow. What happens if you get in an accident? Did you ever think about that? Whether it's your fault or it's not your fault. You get hit by a drunk driver. You get hit by one of these kids not paying attention on their phone. They're texting, driving and texting. What happens if a deer jumps out, comes through your windshield? There's so many things that can happen to injure you and cripple you. I had a friend of mine right from my own town. He's driving down the road and there was another car coming this way and there was a deer that jumped out on the road here. This guy hit it, threw the deer into his windshield. It hit him so hard, knocked most of his teeth out of his face, broke his nose, broke his eye socket, broke his jaw. The seat in his vehicle snapped right back. It came in so hard and so fast. And he said the deer just kept kicking and kicking and kicking him and just literally just smashed his face. Anyway, that guy was crippled up for a long time. He wasn't working for like 6 months after this happened, right? So he lost 6 months of income. You know, he was struggling. The same thing can happen to you guys. What if you end up in a wheelchair someday? Your life is over. When you hit that wheelchair, your mowing days are pretty much done. You're going to struggle with that. You're not going to be able to bounce around and mow all these jobs and do all of that. So don't think, oh, I'm a good driver, I'm going to be fine. Nope, you can be a good driver. You go through an intersection, somebody blows a stoplight and slams into you. I had a buddy who was on a motorcycle, paralyzed the rest of his life because somebody was texting, a young girl texting, plowed right into him, busted his back. He's paralyzed from the waist down for the rest of his life. He had a thriving business and now broke as hell. Broke as hell, lost it all. His wife left him everything because, of course, financial problems, taking care of him was too much for his wife. She hit the road. Fuck her. Anyway, I shouldn't have said that. Let me come back. All right, let's talk about some other stuff. All right, let's talk about your family. What happens to your family, right? If you go down, when you're a solo operator and you go down, your family's in trouble, especially if they're relying on your income. Now your wife might have to go out and get 2 and 3 different jobs to try and make things work, right? Okay, she's gone all the time, she's at work all the time. How happy are you going to be sitting home in a wheelchair? You're not. And pretty soon before you know it, you'll probably be getting a divorce, right? Jealousy will kick in, there'll be all kinds of things going on. You guys need to think about some of these things. If I were to go down today, because of the processes that I have put in place, where I have crews out doing things, I have set up a business like the Mosquito Police where I have all my guys going out in the vehicles, whether I'm there or whether I'm not. The system is in place. They'll go out, they'll make that money regardless whether I'm there or whether I'm not. And that's the type of business that you want to have, in my opinion. Does it come with headaches? Of course. You have headaches in your own business when you're a solo operator. You know, when you're trying to fix the mower by yourself because there's nobody there to help you with it and you're struggling with it, that's a bitch. It's a pain in the ass. I get it. I've been there. I've done it. Much easier to say, hey guys, give me a hand. We got to change a tire over here. We got a flat tire. You know, it's so much easier to have help to do those things than being that solo operator. You have headaches as a solo operator. I have headaches as a multifaceted business, okay? But I really encourage you guys to really think through everything I told you today. I have nothing against solo operators. I was a solo operator for the longest time. I started with my wife. I started by myself. My wife and my kids tried to help me out because I had to work another job to pay the bills. And then we grew it into a massive company. And then we went from there into a bunch of other different things. This is one of them. And, you know, I tell you this because I know solo operator guys have a lot of great pride and you work your ass off. I know that. I've been there, I've done it. I encourage you to think about everything I said today. Give it some thought. Think about your future. If you're in a town where you're struggling, where you have a small population of people and you're a one-man band trying to get it going and you've tried to grow and you just keep hitting limits and walls and stuff, I encourage you to give me a call. I'd be happy to talk with you, help you along the way. Learn from this, learn something from this. I hope that I made sense in this video because it's all about you and your future. Thanks for watching.